massive spending bill passes the Senate over the weekend, and we're taking a closer look at that legislation. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the Noon News. I'm Andrea Lutz in for Diane Parker. The Senate passed that Inflation Reduction Act. It's a landmark bill that will do more to address climate crisis than any other previous bill in American history. Vice President Kamala Harris cast the deciding vote to advance the massive spending bill in the Senate over the weekend. Well, the GOP has framed that bill as a package of tax hikes and unnecessary spending, while Democrats hope to have the act ready for the president to sign by the end of the week. Well, this morning, health officials in Flathead County are investigating where the state's first case of monkeypox has come from. This week, state health officials reported the first case of the virus in Montana. It's in a single presumptive infection of a Flathead County adult. Initial testing was completed on Friday at the state public health lab, and officials say they're working closely with the patient to identify individuals who may have been in contact. That patient did not require hospitalization and is now isolating at home. The growth of the Elmo fire is slowed over the weekend. That blaze growing from 20,000 acres to 21,000 acres. Containment 6% now to 15%. Fire managers report, as expected, high winds and low humidity increased fire activity on the northern sections of that fire. President Joe Biden heads to Kentucky today to tour flood damage and meet with people impacted by last month's deadly heavy rain. The National Weather Service is warning of new flooding threats, too, this week in that state. Parts of a busy interstate shut down and dozens had to be rescued as heavy rain fell in parts of Colorado. Take a look at this video of intense rainfall in a northeast neighborhood. Storms produced areas of street flooding from Longmont south into Denver and surrounding suburbs. It's prompted flash flood warnings to be issued as a few highways and streets, of course, were covered with that high water. Indiana is now the first in the nation to pass sweeping abortion restrictions since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The law passed late Friday in the Senate, providing exceptions for rape, incest, and for when the life of a pregnant mother is at risk. It comes days after Kansas voters handily defeated an effort to amend the state's constitution to remove the right to abortion. And that's today's Leading Look.
I trust everybody had a great weekend. Now back at it we go, and it's for the most part going to be a very hot week. Today, very, very hot. In fact, some areas trying to hit the triple digits. Look at those projected highs today. We'll go 97 in Missoula, 94 in Helena, 98 in Havre along the High Line. Look at Glasgow trying to hit the century mark this afternoon. Wilson getting up to about 96, 98 in Jordan. We'll tag team at 95 in Glendive and Miles City. May not get out of the 80s though in Butte today, getting up to 88, 89 in Dillon, 95 in Billings, 88 in Cody. We'll go 95 in Sheridan. Worland getting up to about 91. Now, we do have a very weak cold front that's going to try to drop through tomorrow. What does that do to us in terms of our temperatures? And do we have any rain this week? I'll let you know coming up.
Our homes, our houses, our livelihoods in here and stuff like that. So it's really been intense, like an adrenaline high for this whole week, just trying to get everything done and protect everything and everybody and your neighbors and your place, and then your neighbor's place, then your place.
The volunteer firefighters with the Chief Cliff Volunteer Fire Department were some of the first people on scene the day the Elmo fire started, right in their backyards.
Oh, it's scary. It's really scary. It's never going to happen in your backyard. It's never going to happen right here. It's never going to happen to your neighbors. But here it did.
When Assistant Fire Chief Ben Adams arrived at the fire just a few minutes after it had started, it had already blown up. The flame lengths were already reaching 15 to 20 feet, and the wind had picked up.
You want to do something, but it's to the point where you can just basically just watch it, and it's just really humbling. And, it's hot and low visibility, lots of smoke. It's the smoke, it's choking.
With the fire being in their community, the volunteers were able to use the knowledge of the weather and landscape to their advantage. The firefighters had to evacuate their neighbors and friends, not knowing what would happen to their homes.
It's really close to home. It threatened my home, my family's ranch, stuff like that, my neighbors' houses. There's a whole bunch of us on the apartment. It's right in our back door coming across here. It's been a pretty emotional week and stuff like that because it was right in our backyard and in our homes and stuff like that, So, we all lost a little something over it.
The volunteers are tired from the nonstop events of the past week. Many of them have not seen their kids and families and have property damage of their own to worry about.
Most of us haven't got a lot of sleep since this thing started. So everybody's starting to come down, relax. We got our trucks in today and washed everything and kind of got together and had a meal here all together and kind of came together and started talking and kind of recovering.
Now, the volunteers must get back to their jobs and begin restoring what was lost.
You know, get back to getting our lives put back together. And it's going to take a little while.
In Dayton, Kiana Wilson, MTN News.